Did you know that being able to talk to your partner about sex is tied to all kinds of good stuff and can lead to a better sex life? Yes. Hello there, my name is Kothar. Welcome to my channel where I talk about all sex related topics and keep it real. Today I'm going to be talking to you on how and why good sexual communication is important to your sex life. Now, before I go further, I'm gonna be segmenting this into two. The first part will be for those who are yet to go into sexual relationships or who are yet to have sex in their relationship, and the other part will be for those who are already in a relationship. Now, sex is great. It's fun. It's very beautiful, but not when you're not talking about it. If you're able to talk about it, your ability to talk about these things with your partner can actually give you a better and fulfilling sex life. Sex is beyond the act. It's tied to emotions, it's tied to pleasure, it's tied to perception and all sorts of assumptions. So it is important to talk about it. Now, before I go further, whether you're in a relationship already or whether you started having sex, it is going to feel awkward, but it doesn't have to. It would feel like you're hurting the person you're communicating to. No, you don't. Not if you're making it positive and if you're being constructive about this conversation. Before you are able to even start this conversation, it has to start with you. This, I mean, you need to know about yourself. We're talking about your relationship with your body. What do you know about your body? What do you like? What do you dislike? What is your relationship with the erotic world? Okay, you have to know all of these things before you can even talk about it. If you do not know these things, a conversation can now hold. You can't communicate any of these things to your partner. So it basically starts with you. And this is what I call sexual self awareness. You got to know yourself to be able to tell your partner what it is, what your boundaries are and all of that. So if you're now, for those who are yet to have sex, who just started their relationships, if before you go into anything, you need to, just start, plan ahead, talk about it, let them know what your likes are, what your dislikes are. It's actually, this all builds a foundation for more talks while you guys are building and growing your relationship. It's during this process you'll be able to talk about your boundaries, things that you like, things you do not like, sexual behaviors that you do not entertain. Do you understand? And it brings me to the issue of also talking about sexual safety. By sexual safety, I mean, okay, if it means um, what are you going to do? How are you going to protect yourself from getting pregnant and STI? In my other video where I talked about things that you can do or you should do before you have sex, I talked about being able to talk to your partner, asking them about their sexual history, when last they tested for STI, and even going on a lab dates. I said, okay, if you're able to do these things at the beginning of your relationship, you're able to, build a foundation for more of such talks in the future. And you really don't have to have this conversation face to face. It could be via text. There's a way to just start it. It's not like you just come out and go like, okay, have you tested? But yes, there's a way to it. Just gradually build it, and both of you can actually come up with ideas, and then together you can just, explore these ideas. It helps, but most importantly, it will be good for you as regards safety measures and as regards boundaries. Now, to those of you who are already in a relationship and already having sex, but and find it difficult to communicate, like I said, it's going to be very awkward, but really it doesn't have to be. What you need to pay attention to, there are two important factors here that you need to be mindful of, and that is timing and mood. You can't just see someone, okay, come back from work, and then you just sit the person down and go like, oh, I don't like this, or this thing you did yesterday wasn't fine, or why you guys are eating. No, you have to be very mindful. Now, this whole communication thing can actually be verbal or non-verbal. When I mean non-verbal, it could be during the acts. You lead the person. You can let the person know how, through even the sounds you make, the moanings that you make. All right. But when it comes down to verbal, like I said in the other time with the other group, you can talk about it either face to face or you can text about it. But the important thing is you need to start positively. You don't start with you didn't or that. No, you start with I, and then there's a way to like it doesn't have, it shouldn't be confrontational. This is you both trying to make better your sex life. So it could be like, oh, I really like what you did last night, but could you do this, just start in that form. um be assured, then let them know that what they do is okay, but you want it better. Okay. And another thing is the mood. Like I said, you don't just start just like that. Okay, you have to. For me, it's best to do that even right after sex, while you guys are cuddled up. You can now talk about it. Oh, that was really nice. Can we do this? Can we explore this? Oh, I really didn't like this. And even the one of dislike, you can actually do that non-verbally. Like when, say, um, something happens or an act causes you pain, the way your body reacts can actually tell your partner. But if it's not someone who picks up these things, that's when you can actually open your mouth. I say this because a lot of women actually force themselves to do things that they do not like during sex, or let their partners do to them things that they do not like and not talk about it. And that's really not healthy, especially for the lady herself. There was a young lady who I had a discussion with. She asked whether oral sex was okay. And I told her yes. She asked what it was for. I said for pleasure. She was like, is it necessary? From the tone of her voice, I could tell that she didn't like it. But obviously, it was being done to her. And you find people who do not like to, there's people when they're having sex, they actually um, touch the anus and stuff like that. Some people don't like it, but they will not talk. They just, they just go with it. You shouldn't do something that you do not like, or you shouldn't allow somebody to do to you what you do not like. Let the person know. And that's why this communication is very important. It lets you tell your partner things that you like and things that you do not like. And in doing all of that, don't make it about you. It's a teamwork. It's a team thing. Tell while you're telling the person what you want and things that you do not want, and even things you desire, things you want to try. Also find out from them. It's called feedback. Ask them what they want, if they like how you even work it while you guys are doing it, and if there's something they also want you to try. And in doing all of these things, also be specific in relating this needs and wants of yours. Okay, you can either do it by showing them, or if it's something you can demonstrate while you guys are talking, yes, you can do it. And again, regards timing, it's I know it's pretty awkward to just sit your husband or your wife or your partner down and then just start talking. You can actually look for conversation starters, like say both of you are watching a movie and then a sexual scene comes on. You can just use that particular scene to start your conversation, and talk about things you want to do and all of that. No one, let me sit here, no one is born with the knowledge of sex. Knowing all of these things is, to better your sex. It is something that we learn along the way, okay? And this whole sex thing is, it entails different activities, and it needs different approaches. So there's a need for you to talk about it and learn. Talking about it helps you learn about your partner. You both learn about yourselves, and then it actually makes you really comfortable, around each other. So when you're able to do these things, you're able to talk about these things, you explore together. It makes your sex life more fulfilling and better, like I said at the beginning. Now, if you're still having issues of, I don't know, for some reason, you still find it unsatisfying amongst you both, you can actually introduce sex toys. I know for some people it's a no-no, some people it's awkward and difficult, but it doesn't have to be. And then for some people it feels like, oh, you want us to introduce sex toy because I'm not enough for you. That's not it. You actually have sex toys that both of you can use simultaneously to stimulate yourselves. Okay, it just enhances your sexual life. If you talk about introducing sex toys into your relationship, and your partner feels like they are inadequate for you, no, it's now your duty to reassure the person that the person is good enough, but that you just need to just up, spice up your sexual life. Talking about sex also allows for you to talk about injuries, talk about trauma. Some people have been sexually assaulted, and for some reason it affects them. It affects certain things you do to them. It actually brings back memories of these things. But if you're able to talk about these things, you guys are able to trash it. Things that might trigger such things. Things to avoid, and you know how to just play around this person. It is also important, it's very, very important to um, keep in mind that this discussion is not something that you talk about once. It's continuous. Like I always say, discussions on sex is continuous. It's not something you can just sit down, have, and then just close the door to it. No, it's continuous. You need to keep talking about it. Like I said, it helps you connect better with your partner. You learn about each other. You know what your partner wants. You know what your partner needs. You know your desires. You people have some people are into kinky sex, and because you guys are not talking about it, the person can't even do what he or she wants. Okay, so being able to communicate your feelings, your needs, and your desire to your partner really, really helps you build better bonds as a couple in your relationship, and you know um, provides you or gives you a better and much fulfilling sex life. You can I know for some people, say maybe after listening to this video, you go talk about it, you go like, oh, so you've been talking. No, if your partner has a problem with you, even initiating this discussion following this video, refer your partner to this video, show the video to your partners. You both can watch it again together so that they will know that okay, that at the end of the day, it's not just about you, it's about both of you and your relationship as well. So just keep talking and, basically just normalize talking about sex, destigmatize sexual conversations. It's something that we do. I mean, sex is almost like food. So, and if you really love it, why shouldn't you talk about it? It's like me loving chocolate and not being able to talk about it because I'm gonna be shamed or looked at like something is wrong with me. No, it is something that is part of our existence, whether we like it or not. And so it is important to be able to talk about it. It is important to be able to let your partners know what you like and what you do not like, what you desire. Sex is about pleasure, okay? Pleasure is your birthright. So talk about it, relate your concerns, talk about things that you want and things you do not want. But like I said, it is also important in doing these things, talk about um, sexual health. Your sexual health should also be paramount, just like as your pleasure is. Talk about it. If you're new to it, ask them about their sexual health. You people should go for STI tests together. You shouldn't take chances, okay? Um, like just keep talking. It's a discussion that is ongoing. Talk about it, whatever your needs are, and then try out new sex positions, okay? Let me say this here: if you're in a relationship or in a marriage and all you do is missionary style, I tell you today, you should come talk to me. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. There's so many positions you should try that are so superb. They're mind blowing. You should be able to try them out and just spice up your marriage, your relationship, and most importantly, your sex life. If you like this video, please don't fail to like it and please subscribe for more videos as I keep dropping them weekly. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a lovely, fulfilling sex life. Mwah.